Guys, this is Tampa's world and we're just living in it. The beautiful area of Tampa, Florida has had major pro sports teams since 1976, and that didn't start all too well. Like, literally the worst start possible. From 1976 to 2019, the city earned just 2 championships among its major teams. Not much was happening in the Tampa sports scene very often. That changed in 2020 though, and carried into 2021 in what can only be described as the Year of Tampa. In under a calendar year, Tampa went on a never-before-seen run of athletic achievement. The time when the Tampa Bay area became the #1 sports destination in the world. In 2020, I visited the Tampa Bay area for the first time, so I'm clearly qualified to talk about this. Let's start with the team that plays in this building. Tampa's baseball team, the much-beloved Tampa Bay Rays. Embracing a very analytical mindset and finding players it seems like no one else believes in, the baseball world has a soft spot for this team. And that was on full display when the Rays started to win. A lot. The Rays powered their way to the #1 record in the American League during the pandemic-shortened 2020 MLB season. They won 2/3 of their games, which in baseball is just an insane accomplishment. If they carried this rate over a full season, it would place them in the top 40 teams all-time by record. And once playoff time came, they kept winning. They swept the Blue Jays in the wildcard round, they beat the Yankees in the ALDS, and they beat everyone's favorite Astros in the ALCS to earn a trip to the World Series. The biggest hero for the Rays in the playoffs? Randy Arozarena. A guy with so little big league experience, he's technically still a rookie even after the season ended. We have a video all about Randy's unbelievable ride in the 2020 playoffs already, but basically, he was as good at baseball as Tyler the Creator is at being relatable.
What are you insecure about?
My height,
Why?
because I want to be 6'3",
How tall are you?
6'2".
The Rays' magical run to the World Series led them to a matchup against the LA Dodgers, the only team with more wins in 2020 than them. They also had different amounts of money spent on player payroll. Like, very different. The Rays' payroll was about 26% the size of the Dodgers' payroll this season. Basically a social commentary on capitalism. But the Rays had some fight. Their biggest highlight of the series was their walk-off win in Game 4 that's pretty hard to explain, so I'll let John Mayer do it.
And that happens. Over to the right. And that happens. And that happens. I'm not sure what that means.
By the way, that was real. It's from John Mayer commentating some game in Japan. The more you know. The Rays did not win the World Series, though they did put up a great fight, and a great season nonetheless.
Wait a minute!
73 pitches, 2 hits, 9 strikeouts. Snell can't believe it.
Oh, God, dude.
Here's a play at the plate, throw home, too late, Dodgers lead. Betts scores. And just like that, the Dodgers are on top by 1 in the 6th.
Anyways, in 2019, the Tampa Bay Lightning tied the NHL record for wins in a season with 62. That, obviously, got them the #1 seed in the NHL playoffs, where they matched up with the Columbus Blue Jackets, and got swept. This, a little over a year after the University of Virginia men's basketball team became the first #1 seed to go one and done in March Madness. Before they knew it, Virginia won the tournament the next year. And you know what? So did the Lightning.
You know, we used a little inspiration from the Virginia basketball team, and that hat's been with us for this whole time, and when you see somebody else do it, you say, why not us?
The Tampa Bay Lightning won the 2020 Stanley Cup. Led by goal-scoring machine Nikita Kucherov and longtime captain Steven Stamkos, the Lightning made up for their embarrassment by going all the way the next year. They got a playoff series win against the Blue Jackets to get even with them, too. Before the pandemic, Tampa had one of the highest attendances in hockey, and fans packed the arena every game to see this exciting team. And you've got to be really happy for this team and their fans after making up for the mind-numbingly crushing loss the year before. But in order to have a crushing playoff loss, you've got to get to the playoffs in the first place. Something the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hadn't done since YouTube looked like this. They decided it was time for that to change during the spring of 2020 though. They brought in a championship-winning quarterback from California with AFC East experience to this team named Tom Grady. Oh wait, sorry, there was a typo there. Tom Brady, that's the guy. A little birdie mentioned once or twice that Tom Brady was good at football.
Who wrote this? Who wrote this lie?
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers started off 7-5 in 2020, with the 5th loss coming at home to the Kansas City Chiefs. Tyreek Hill racked up 269 receiving yards, over 200 of those in the first quarter. After this, the Bucs started to win. They won the rest of their regular season games. They beat the Washington playoff team in the first round. They beat a Saints team that beat them twice in the regular season in a Breeze-Brady playoff matchup about 15 years in the making. Then they beat Aaron Rodgers and the Packers to go to the Super Bowl, and whoa, what was this play? At the end of the day, the Bucs were on to Super Bowl 55. Where was the game? Just their home stadium in Tampa, making them the first team ever to play in a Super Bowl at home. No big deal, just Tampa sports doing their thing. They'd be rematching the Chiefs on the same field Tyreek Hill ran for 9,684 inches in a football game against them. And guess what? The Bucs defense kept the Chiefs out of the end zone for the entire game. After getting destroyed through the air just 2 months before, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl. Isn't that right, Set the Edge?
That's right, Mike, although I'm still going to need a good minute to process that fact. I mean, if you had told me that this would occur back at the start of 2020, or that the Chiefs wouldn't score a touchdown in the Super Bowl, and every player that did score wasn't even on the Buccaneers last season, I'd have quietly assumed that you were an insane person. But I guess if there is any year for a fever dream to become reality, it would have been 2020. Go Bucs.
Tampa won its second championship in just over 4 months, but that's not even where the fun ends. And no, not even talking about the Nickelodeon Super Bowl. Tampa, technically, got a basketball team in the year of Tampa too. Canada has restricted travel a lot more than the US has during the pandemic, which has left Toronto sports teams in a bit of a tricky spot when trying to find a place to play against American teams. The Toronto Raptors found a home in Tampa, playing at the same arena the Lightning have turned into a hot spot and home of a champion. The Raptors being in Tampa adds to the unprecedented sports success the city has. In a 5-month period, 4 major pro teams who call Tampa their home have played in at least their conference semifinals, or whatever their sports equivalent to that is. And if we really want to get technical, the Raptors won a championship in 2019 too. Not really the same, so it doesn't truly count, but the championship caliber pedigree of the teams playing in the Tampa Bay area now is just unbelievable. Never before has a city had teams this dominant in such a short time. Each of the Big Four leagues has one of their best teams playing at home in Tampa, and it all came together in record time. And we haven't even mentioned the XFL's Tampa Bay Vipers yet. They started play within the year of Tampa too, and their quarterback was a CBS announcer before that season. Oh, and bonus thing, Ole Miss won the 2021 Outback Bowl as an unranked team against number 7 Indiana. A great game and a great upset. The game was played in Tampa. Boom, bonus thing, Tampa is the number 1 sports city right now. 2 championships, a 3rd team making an appearance and still going on a magical ride, a temporary 4th team that's been one of the best in their sport, a huge upset win in college football taking place in the city, and hosting the Super Bowl where one of the local teams won in their own stadium. Welcome to Tampa Bay.
Got bricks, yeah, flip that. Hey, bag check, come correct, yeah, been that. Been that real, hey. Running through the fields with a piece that cost a meal. Foreign whips up in the hills, yeah. Yes, sir. Got bricks, yeah, flip that. Hey, bag check, come correct, yeah, been that. Been that real, what? Running through the